Hello and welcome to No Win, No Fee. Now, all 12 of today's contestants are hoping to go home with £4,000, and I'm hoping that they don't. Because the fact is, I do not get paid for presenting this show. If one of these people takes the money, then I go home with absolutely nothing. Zero. No win and no fee for me. And if you don't believe me, well, here it is in black and white on my contract. Take a look. See what it says there. Remuneration. The presenter agrees that he should receive no fee for providing the services. In fact, the only way I make anything at all is if they fail to win the £4,000. In that case, I do get to keep the money. So let's meet the people who are standing in the way of me and my fee. And today we have Joel, Harry, Austin, Toby, Mark, Derek, Wendy, Caroline, Paul, Mike, Zoe and Maura. Now, you're all complete strangers to each other. Virtually all you know about each other are those names. And this is a game of assumption and presumption, because I'm going to ask you to choose players who you think will get a question wrong. So it's sudden death, and it's all about first impressions. There are 12 of you here now. In a few minutes, there are going to be just 6 of you. And we're going to start by randomly choosing one of you. Here we go. So we need somebody to come up and pick an opponent they think will get a question wrong, a question they have selected. Who's going to be up first? And it's Zoe. I wonder if she's any good at judging people having only just met them. Let's find out. Zoe, come on up and choose your question. So you've got a choice of 2, and you've got to find a question that somebody here is going to get wrong. If they get it wrong, you go through to the next round. If they get it right, if you choose badly, we lose you. What do you fancy, Zoe, top or bottom?
Bottom one, please.
The bottom question. Now take a look at their faces as they hear it for the first time. Try and judge how they react. See who's bluffing and who genuinely might not know the answer. Here's the question Zoe's chosen for you. What type of creature is a Kerry blue? Mike's head went down very quickly then, but he may just have remembered the answer. Derek's very happy, smiling away there. Look at him. Who do you want to pick to get the answer wrong?
Toby.
That was Toby there. Didn't look happiest of bunnies to be selected. Let's find out how she gets on. Toby, come and face your question. Why Toby?
The only person I've had any kind of interaction with this afternoon, so...
A little bit of chat before the show, eh? OK. Well, you've heard the question. I'm going to read it again. Toby, you have to get this right to stay in the game. She's put you on the spot. If you do get it right, it's goodbye, Zoe. Sudden death. Here's the question. What type of a creature is a Kerry blue? Don't have to answer straight away. Are you still pleased you chose her?
I don't know now.
So she could have a guess. You said what type of creature?
She looks like she's choosing between a couple of things.
Is that right, Toby? You've got a couple of options in your mind?
Yeah.
What are you thinking of?
I think I'm going to go with a fish.
A fish. Anything else you were thinking of?
Some sort of insecty type thing.
So it's either an insecty type thing, but you want to plump for a fish?
I'll go for fish.
A fish.
A fish.
A Kerry blue. Well, it's not an insect type thing. And it's not a fish. It's a breed of dog, a terrier. So, Toby, you are wrong. But a bit of an R, which means, Zoe, you've got a place in the next round. And Toby, we've only just met, but I'm delighted to say you're out. So that's it. 1 down, 1 through, 10 people waiting. Only 5 of you are going to have a place in the next round to play for £4,000. Who's going to choose a question next? Chosen at random, it's Mike. I wonder how good he is at judging people from first impressions. Mike, join me now. Choose your question. Now, are you happy picking a question, or would you rather be answering a question?
I think I'd rather be answering a question first time.
Tough luck, isn't it, though, mate? Here we go. There are your 2 options. You've got to pick one that you think somebody here is going to get wrong. Take your time. You may have picked up a reaction or 2 from the way they responded to that first one. One of those 2, top or bottom. And then I'll read it to them, and you can choose somebody after hearing or seeing their reaction.
I think I'll go for the bottom question.
The bottom question. Here's the one that Mike has chosen to inflict upon one of you. What coloured ball is the 3rd most valuable in a game of snooker? Caroline looks very impassive, not a lot of reaction there. But notice she's looking at me, not you. I think she's avoiding your gaze. It's up to you, though. Don't let me sway you.
I think I'm going to have to go with Wendy.
Well, she's not overly happy, but there's no escape, Wendy. Mike's chosen you. Come on up and face your question. So why did you go for Wendy?
Well, I haven't really spoken to Wendy, and I'm sort of half hoping that she's not been a snooker player, because I actually couldn't answer that one.
Right, so you went for it partly because you couldn't answer it, and mainly because she perhaps doesn't look like a snooker player. She might be a snooker fan, though.
Well, possibly.
We're going to find out. Wendy, you have to get this answer right to stay in the game, and there's another bonus for you. If you get it right, we'll kick Mike out of the game. What coloured ball is the third most valuable in a game of snooker? Take your time. Think of some of those colours, maybe. Still happy you chose her?
Not quite so sure now.
Right. Because we'd like to give people a bit of thinking time, just to make it a bit more pressure for
A bit
you.
more tense, yeah.
And for me as well. She's doing some counting.
I think it's either blue or pink.
You're thinking in terms of blue or pink. Mm-hmm. OK, of course I can only take one answer. What do you think is the third most valuable ball in a game of snooker?
Blue.
Blue. You said the colour of Mike's shirt. The answer, and you said you're going for pink as well, possibly. The answer's blue, you're right. So, Wendy, on a bit of a guess, I think there, but well done. You're through to the next round. And Mike, I'm delighted to say you're out.
Thank you.
Now we need somebody else to come up and choose a question, then pick an opponent they think is going to get that question wrong. Who's up next? And it's Mark in that fantastic intergalactic shirt. Mark, will you join me and choose your question? Choice of two there as ever, top or bottom. And again, you've got to pick somebody who's going to get it wrong. Trouble is they may guess the right answer, so think about it. And think about what you may have learnt about these people so far. Appearances can be deceiving, they could be bluffing as well, though. Top or bottom, which one do you fancy, Mark?
I'll choose the top.
It's the top question, and he's going to scrutinise you all as you hear it. He's looking for your reactions. In which country was the first football World Cup held? Mark's going to try and pick somebody who's going to get that wrong. Have you narrowed it down at all?
They've given nothing away whatsoever. I think I've picked one yet. I've gone for Caroline.
Well, Caroline, Mark thinks you're going to get this wrong. You can now prove him wrong as I ask you to face your question. So why'd you go for Caroline? A lot of choice still.
No one gave anything away. I don't know the answer. I'm just hoping that someone knows a little bit less about it than I do.
OK, well, if you don't know the answer, people can't know much less about it, can they? We're going to find out what Caroline knows. Now, Caroline, you must get this right to stay in the game. If you get it wrong, Mark goes through and you go home. Here's your question. Take as long as you like. In which country was the first soccer World Cup held? Have a think. Still pleased you chose her?
No, she's looking quite shrewd now, isn't she?
Quite shrewd, isn't she?
Yeah.
Difficult to trust women, isn't it? See, that's the problem. Little cheeky raise of the eyebrows. She could be a big football fan, couldn't she, for all we know? So what do we reckon? You've made your decision. Caroline's got to give me an answer pretty soon. Caroline, in which country was the first soccer World Cup held? Maybe you don't know. Maybe you've just thought of a couple of options. What are you thinking?
A few options. I haven't a clue, to be honest, but I'm going to go for Brazil.
Brazil. Brazil. You didn't know either, did you, Mark?
No, I didn't.
It could be Brazil.
It could be.
Could very well be Brazil. Big footballing nation. Except it was held in Uruguay in 1930, so Caroline, you're wrong. Which means Mark is through to the next round, and Caroline, I'm delighted to say, you're out. 6 contestants left, only 3 places in that final round. Who's it going to be up next? And it's Derek. We're going to test his judgment of character now as I ask him to come up and choose a question. So, Derek, you've seen people reacting to questions, but they're quite a stony-faced bunch. You've got a choice of 2. Do you want to put your glasses on?
I do.
There we go. Do you want top or bottom? Take your time. It's not so much about what you know as about what you think other people know, the 5 people in front of you. You've got to pick someone who gets the question you choose wrong.
I'll go for the bottom one.
It's the bottom question. Now look at their faces, scan them quickly, here it comes. What animal is Canada's official emblem? Austin is looking a bit puzzled now. Could be a good actor though. Who's going to get that question? You've selected wrong, Derek.
I'll go for Mora.
So Maura, he thinks he's sussed you out. He thinks you're going to fail this test. Come up and face your question. And why did you go for the only remaining female choice?
I must admit, I thought she looked a little bit doubtful.
A bit doubtful. She could be a very good actor.
Yeah, could be.
Here we go, Maura. Here's the question. If you get this right, you stay in. Derek takes that long and lonely walk home. Because he won't have money for the bus. He won't have the £4,000, will he? Here's the question. What animal is Canada's official emblem? Take as long as you like. She does look a bit pensive. But she might be working a bit logically as well. We don't want to give her any clues, but... Still happy you chose her?
Yeah.
Your voice went ever so slightly high-pitched then, Derek.
Yes.
Moira, you've heard the question. What animal is Canada's official emblem? Do you want to give me a guess, or do you want to tell me the direction you're thinking?
Right, it's going to have to be a guess, because I'm not that sure, but I'm going to go for a beaver.
You're going to go for a beaver?
I am.
You've heard her choice. Did you know the answer?
I'm guessing.
Would you have guessed that?
No.
It's a pretty good guess, because beaver is the right answer. Which means, Maura, you've booked your place in the second round. Derek, I'm delighted to say you're out.
Thanks, guys.
Just 4 contestants left. 4 men. Who's going to be up to choose an opponent after they've selected a question? Who's up next? And it's Joel. Joel's got 3 people to choose from. He could stay in or go out after he chooses his question, and that's going to happen now. Join me now, Joel. Two choices there, Joel. Top or bottom? Would you have known the answer to any of those earlier questions?
A few of them.
Would you rather answer or choose a question?
On this one, answer.
OK, you've got to choose, I'm afraid.
I'll choose.
Top or bottom?
Top one.
OK, study their faces as they hear it. Here's the question. Joel has chosen to put one of you 3 in the wrong. Which liqueur gives the cocktail Tequila Sunrise its red glow? Look at their reactions. Who looks like maybe they might not know their drinks? Their cocktails.
I'm going to go for Harry, Paul.
So, Harry, he thinks you're going to get this one wrong. Front and centre and face your question. So is it you don't think he looks like a drinking man, or you just worked on instinct there?
Well, we were talking about bars between Paul and Austin and I earlier, so pick something up there.
That little 5 minutes before the
Yeah.
show, you see, it's very dangerous to give anything away here on No Win, No Fee. Harry, here's your question. You have to get this right to stay in the game. If you get it wrong, we send Joel home for an early bath. Here we go. Think about it. Maybe tell me if you're going to have a guess what possibilities you might be working through. Which liqueur gives the cocktail Tequila Sunrise its red glow? Have a think. Still happy you chose him? Do you think it's going to be a guess?
Don't know, Paul. No idea.
I can't wait to find out. I'd hate to play poker against this man. I think you made a very dangerous choice with Harry. I think he's been in plenty of bars in his time. Let's find out, though. Don't let me sway you. You've chosen him. Harry, which liqueur gives the cocktail Tequila Sunrise its red glow?
I think it's grenadine.
If you're right, you stay in the game. You've got a place in the final round. If you're wrong, that place goes to Joel. The answer is grenadine, so you are right. Which means, well done, Harry, you're through to the next round. Joel, commiserations, but I'm really happy on the whole to say you're out.
Thank you, Paul.
OK, so we know either Austin or Paul is going to choose a question, and the one left is going to face that question. But who's doing what? Let's let the lights decide. So it's Paul, and they're competing for the last place in the final round. Paul, join me and choose your question. So a choice of two, but only one person to put either of those questions to. Which one are you going to go for, top or bottom? Now, he's looked a little bit quizzical at every question, so he could be a good bluffer. Which one do you think he's going to get wrong, Paul?
The bottom one.
No hesitation, you think you get the bottom one wrong?
Yeah.
OK. Here's the question Paul has chosen for the final place in the final round. Who did Mehmet Ali Agca try to assassinate in 1981? That's the question. Have a think. Look at his reaction. Do you still think you've chosen the right question?
Yes.
Very confident then. Of course, if he gets it right, you're out.
Yes.
A lot of pressure at this point. Austin, will you join me now and face your question? So, it's Austin versus Paul. I'm going to remind you of the question, Austin, and then you can take as long as you like. Who did Mehmet Ali Agca try to assassinate in 1981? If he's bluffing and he gets this right, he's going to be one to watch in the next round, isn't he?
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
If he's wrong, of course, you might be one to watch, because you're a pretty good judge of questions.
I might have been away at the time, but I'll have a guess. I'll go for His Holiness the Pope.
The Pope. His Holiness the Pope. The answer is Pope John Paul II, so I can accept Austin's answer. Austin, you are right. So, Austin, you're through to the next round, and Paul, I'm happy to say you are out. So, well done to all 6 of you for getting this far. Now, you've made it because you've managed to eliminate your opponents, either because you're a good judge of character, you're clever, or you're just plain lucky. But let's hope you've been paying attention to each other's strengths and weaknesses along the way as well, because now it's time for you to go head-to-head with each other. And with me, of course. Why me? Well, if none of you win, I put £4,000 in my pocket. Otherwise, I get nothing from this show. So I hope it's no win, no fee for you, as we all take one step closer to that money. Now, for round 2, things get decidedly trickier. Judgment of character is now crucial. You've got to choose an opponent before hearing the question. I'm going to then read that question, and to stay in the game, you've got to tell me whether the person you've selected is going to get it right or wrong. As always, we start by randomly choosing one of you. Who's going to be first up? And it's Harry. Harry's got to appraise his opponents and decide whether they're going to be right or wrong. Harry, join me to choose your opponent. Now, you did do well in the first round. Got your question right. How good are you at assessing other people? That's what it's all about, judging character, judging those little giveaway bits of body language. Maybe who have you narrowed it down to?
I think Mark or Zoe. I'm going to go for Zoe.
So Zoe, he's picked you. Maybe he's got faith in you. Maybe he thinks you're an open book to him. Join us now and face your question. So, Harry, why Zoe?
Instinct.
OK, now, as ever, Zoe, you have to get this answer right. But before you answer, Harry's got to tell me whether you're going to get it right or wrong. Here's the question. In the 2001 presidential elections, George W. Bush's brother Jeb was governor of which state? Take your time. What are you thinking? How's your mind working, Harry?
My mind is working, but maybe she doesn't know the answer.
Maybe she doesn't.
Maybe.
You take your time.
I'll stick with that. I think she doesn't know the answer.
You think she's going to get it wrong?
I think so.
Zoe, you've got to get the answer right. OK, in the 2001 presidential elections, George W. Bush's brother Jeb was governor of which state?
I'll say Florida. Absolutely no idea, and that's a guess, I'm afraid.
Florida. The answer is Florida. You're right.
I knew it.
Which means, Zoe, you're still in the game. And Harry, hey, it's been fun, but it's even more fun to say you're out. So 1 person out, 5 remaining, 6 if you include me, and you've got to include me because I do not get paid for being here today. I only get any money if you 5 fail. Fingers crossed for that. Who's going to be up next? And it's Zoe. Now, Zoe managed to knock Harry out of the game by answering a question correctly. How good a judge of character is she? Let's find out. Come up and choose your opponent. Feeling a bit more relaxed, or is it getting worse the closer you get to the money?
Worse.
Okay, now you've got a choice. A choice of one of 4 people. You know the drill by now. Who do you want to go head-to-head with? Either whose current affairs knowledge do you trust, whose reaction can you read, or who reminds you of a school teacher?
Wendy.
So it's Wendy, not the happiest person to be chosen. Wendy, come on up and face your question. You pick Wendy, you've obviously got a bit of faith in her, or is it that you can read her well, do you think?
Got faith in her.
Faith in her. OK, I hope that faith is justified. So there's a lot riding on this, Wendy. Here is your question. Where on a horse are its withers? I will spell that word for you if you like. But you're thinking, I can assure you it's not a rude word. What's that first reaction telling you, just before the little laugh there?
No, I think she's got a good head on her.
Do you think she's going to get it wrong or right, Zoe?
I think she'll get it right.
Think she'll get it right?
Please.
She has to get it right, doesn't she? I'm going to ask you the question, take as long as you like. Where on a horse are its withers?
I'd say it's shoulders.
Well, the answer I have here is the base of the neck. So I can't, I'm afraid, accept the shoulders. You are wrong. Which means, as Zoe agreed with you, Wendy and Zoe, it has been fun. We've had a few laughs, but you're out. Sit down. So just 3 people left. We've got to be very strict, very precise. A lot of money at stake, £4,000. Who's up next to pick an opponent? And it's Austin. We're going to test his judgment of other people's reactions right now. Come on up, Austin, and choose your opponent. Now, I'm going to ask you to pick somebody either whose reaction you can read, or whose knowledge you trust, or a bit of both. Who are you going to go for?
I'll go with Mark.
Maybe a mental toss of a coin, but Mark is going to be up now to face his question. So, is it Mark or Maura? What tipped it in Mark's favour?
I just did it in alphabetical order and R becomes before W. Yeah.
Right. So, Mark, you've got to get this right to stay in the game. How many eyes does a bee have? Take a look at him. Is that a slight throb in the temple? A bit of a cheeky wink for you. He's trying to relax us both. He's obviously quite a nice guy. But is he going to know this? Is he going to get it right or wrong? I don't know the answer. Haven't opened up to see yet.
Oh, I'll go for it. He's going to get it wrong.
He's going to get it wrong?
Yeah.
Is the pressure getting to you a bit?
I think so. I fold under pressure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you think he's going to get it wrong?
Yes, I do.
If he gets it right, and he's going to do his best to get it right, he stays in the game, and it's Mark versus Maura and me for £4,000. If he is wrong, though, you stay in the game.
Okay.
Do you want to hear the question again?
Yes, please.
How many eyes does a bee have?
I'll go for 6.
6. Austin thought you were going to get it wrong. The answer's 5, so you are wrong. Which means, Austin, you're still in the game. Mark, I'm happy to say, sit down, you are out. So will Maura, Austin, or me get that £4,000? And it's Maura who's going to be predicting, Austin's going to be answering. Take your places, please. Austin, as ever, you've got to get this answer right to stay in the game, maybe to win £4,000. Here's the question. By what name is the natural phenomenon Aurora Borealis better known? You've got to study his reaction. Looks quite self-contained, chewing that lower lip with thought. If he gets the answer wrong and you think he's going to get it right, he's out, you're out. I get £4,000. You got any children, Maura?
Yes.
How many?
3.
I've got 5. expensive,
Hard
aren't they?
life, yeah.
Expensive. We need the money, don't we?
We do.
I think my 5 trumps your 3.
Oh, I don't know. You've not met my 3.
You've got to earn the money.
I think he's going to get it right.
You think he knows this?
Yes,
Now, I want you to say that, and then I want him to get it wrong, so don't let me influence you.
of course.
You think he's going to get this right?
Yes, I do.
Getting a bit tense, isn't it, Austin?
It is tense. It's something to do with
Something
astronomy.
you-
It's something to do with astronomy, sorry. It's like the eclipse, northern lights, that kind of thing. Aurora borealis. Borealis, keeping the light from the earth. I'll go for eclipse.
So you're thinking it's the eclipse,
Yeah.
okay? Now, if you're right, and Maura's predicted you're going to be right, you're both still in the game. But if you're wrong, you're out because you need to be correct. Maura is also out, and I have earned £4,000. Is eclipse your final answer?
Yes.
The answer is the Northern Lights.
Oh, no.
Austin, you're wrong. That means you're out. And Maura, who thought he was going to get it right, you're out as well. Can you sit down, please? And I have won £4,000. And I'm happy, but it's been a slog. I kind of feel I've earned that money. No win for the contestants, a big fee for me. Join us the next time we're on your television with no win, no fee. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.